electronic music?
Definitely,
Really?
definitely. You know, we have plenty of electronic underground scenes here.
Really?
That that goes from ambient stuff to noise stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and even people that comes from university end up doing such scenes, and they are very welcome. You know, the whole thing is, it's not profitable.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. So what type of scene would you like your listeners to be involved in? Like, do you prefer the club scene, or are you want the avid fan to be searching for you on the internet, or what would you prefer?
Well, I guess any means would be great. As live as an internet thing, as a CD concrete selling thing that I've done also, and I really loved it because the last year my first solo album, which is basically electroacoustic stuff, was released by a New York label, and it was sold to many places I never would imagine it would be sold.
Yeah.
And this is really great.
Yeah.
But also it's not profitable.
Yeah, it's tough.
But it had its availability.
So if for artists trying to get in touch with you, for artists trying to get in touch with your music, how would you suggest they get a hold of you?
Well, right now through the internet.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I've been doing some live stuff with people around here in Brazil, and also because of the internet. And this something that started, a year and a half before, with people from abroad, and it's great. Really, the internet is really, really a great instrument, for you to get in touch with people all around the world.
Definitely, yes, definitely. Or else I never would have found you.
Exactly.
So, for people who aren't so in touch with experimental music, what would you have your listeners? What would you have them be aware of before they listen to your work? Is there any disclaimer or something for people who aren't too versed in it?
Well, that's a hard question to answer.
Yeah.
I mean, I really don't like to direct or try to get listeners into a way of listening my music. I really love the real-time experimentation of listening. Like, when I do my music, whether it's electronic or instrumental, I really want to make the music itself in something original. But beware, it's not original in the means of something that was never done. Not at all. Everything that I do is a result of everything I have listened to, plus something more. And that something more, it is what interests me the most, It's like the very intuitional element of my music. is something that comes right after I have listened all that music in my 29-year life,
Uh-huh.
and it's hard to give you such references, but I try to like one of the artists that really caught me up in the electronic music was FX Twin.
Uh-huh.
You know him, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and why is that? And this happened like 10 years before. 10 years ago, I mean.
Yeah.
It's exactly on 1997 that I went through his work, and I got some CDs as a gift from a friend of São Paulo, and those were three. One of it was his first EP from 1994,
Mm-hmm.
and the last one was from 1997, which was Come to Daddy EP 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I began to explore this drum and bass and jungle stuff that I was introduced before, but not FX Twin until then. Like 3 years before, I noticed that was this movement and the suburbs of London and the jungle stuff and everything. But the guy who really caught me on was FX Twin, because he works with rhythmical patterns that none of his fellow contemporary drum and bass composers did. None of them. Not Square Pusher, not Man on Mars, which is dealing with three tempos.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you got me. You got 1, 2, 1, 2, and you got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
I definitely, I understand.
He was one of these composers which utilizes and explored and expanded and did great things on that. That caught me right away. And well, furthermore, I mentioned FX Twin as my major electronic influence, but we have a whole lot more.
Yeah.
Carl House, like Stockhouse, and Edgar Varese, let me see, Yuri Ligeti and his few electronic pieces. Well, who else?
The list
you can
is
see on
long.
my MySpace influence list.
Yeah, I looked at a lot of your influences and picked out the ones I was familiar with. I guess we'll finish up, and I'll just finish up with the question: if there's any advice that you would give electronic artists in the U.S. and all around the world.
Try to create what you think, and what you think is almost like saying, try to create what is rational on you, and try to create what is inspirational on you. That's all.
Definitely some words to remember.